Hello and welcome to this lecture of mathematics. In this part, we are going to learn the next set of concepts in limits and derivatives, and this is limits part 4. So basically, we're going to learn one type of limit, standard limit in this case. And for that matter, what we'll do is we will take one expansion. So the expansion is of the form x raised to n minus a raised to n. If you had such a thing, then how do we actually expand this? So this can be expanded as you can clearly see that x minus a is one of the roots of, that is, a is going to be one of the roots of this equation. That is, if I put a, then this equation is going to be satisfied. So definitely x minus a is one of the factors, and this we can further write as x raised to n minus 1 plus a into x raised to n minus 2 plus a squared into x raised to n minus. So next one is going to be a n minus 3 and so on. Further, this is going to be, this series continues, and this is going to be a raised to n minus 2 into x, and finally what we're going to get is a raised to n minus 1. That's what we get. So when you multiply this entirely, you're going to get x raised to n minus a raised to n. Now if I divide this, then this becomes x raised to n minus a raised to n divided by x minus a. That's what we get. And on the right hand side, this is going to be x raised to n minus 1 plus a into x raised to n minus 2. This goes on. And finally, the last two terms are as follows. So now, let's apply limit on both the sides. Limit x tends to a. If I apply limit on both the sides, then x raised to n minus a raised to n by x minus a. This is equal to limit x tending to a, x raised to n minus 1, and then this, the same series. So now put x equals to a on the right hand side, then we'll get the answer. So this is going to be a raised to n minus 1. Second one also is going to be a raised to n minus 1. This is going to be a raised to n minus 1, a raised to n minus 1. So throughout, we're going to get a term that is a raised to n minus 1. Now this term comes n times. So in short, we can write n times a raised to n minus 1. So basically, the value of this limit x tending to a, x raised to n minus a raised to n by x minus a is going to be n a n minus 1. So that is the value of this limit. Now once we are done with this, it means that this is a standard result that you have to remember. So let's take one example, very simple example in this case. Limit x tending to 2 x cube minus 8 by x minus 2. If you have such a kind of limit, so now this is a rational function and it's a 0 by 0 form. That means if I put x equals to 2 over here, then what we'll get is 0 by 0 form. So we have to apply this limit in this case. So you can clearly see that 8 can be written as 2 cube, and n this time is going to be 3. So 3 times a, that is 2 in this case, n minus 1, that is 2 square. 4 3s are 12. This is going to be the answer in this case. Let's take another example. This time it's slightly different, wherein it is x minus 2 by cube root of x minus cube root of 2. Now if this is given, what we can do is we can write x as x raised to 1 by 3 cube minus 2 raised to 1 by 3 cube divided by x raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 raised to 1 by 3. That's what we get. So it means that this is the factor and this is the uh, numerator. Now obviously limit x tending to 2. That's what is given to us. So all that you have to do is we can write clearly. You can see that if I put x equals to 2, then it will be 0 by 0 form. So it will be an indeterminate form from which you can't derive anything. So what we have to do is we can write n, that is this a 2 raised to 1 by 3, n minus 1, that is 3 minus 1, that's 2. So answer is going to be 3 raised to 2 by 3. That will be the answer to this question. So this is the next problem. Find all possible values of a if left hand limit and right hand limit are equal. So to the LHS there is one limit shown, and to the RHS there is another limit shown. Both are equal. For that we have to find the values of a which satisfies this equation. Now the equation, the value of this limit obviously is going to be 9 times a raised to 8 according to the formula that we have just learned. And the value of this is going to be 9. So basically what we have is a raised to 8 is 1, which means that we can write a can be plus minus 1. So these are the values of a that if taken will satisfy this equation. Let's take the next problem. So the next problem is something like this: x raised to 5 minus 32 divided by x cube minus 8. That's what is given to us. Limit is x tending to 2. If we put 2 over here, obviously it will be 0 by 0 form. So we can't evaluate it straight away. Now, if we have to use this form also, as you can see, we can't use it straight away. So what we have to do? You can clearly see that this is 2 raised to 5 and this is 2 cube. So what we want is the factor x minus 2. So we are going to write x raised to 5 minus 2 raised to 5 divided by x minus 2 divided by x cube minus 2 cube by x minus 2. Limit x tending to 2. So we'll apply the limit to the numerator and to the denominator. So this is going to be 5, 2 raised to 4 divided by 3, 2 square. So this goes, and what we get is 20 by 3 as the answer. So that is the final answer to this question. So let's do this one. Now again, there are two limits given on the left hand side and right hand side. Let's write this as n, because this can be still be written as 1 raised to 4, a n minus 1. That's what is given. And here, what we can write is, again we can shift it and we can write it x cube minus k cube by x minus k by x square minus k square by x minus k. Limit x tending to k in the numerator and denominator. So we can solve this as 3 times k square, and this we can write as 2 times k raised to 1. So k and k gets cancelled, and what we get is 3 by 2k. This is equal to 4. So k finally we get as 8 by 3 as the answer. Now we have got this kind of a problem. Let's see in what way we can evaluate this. So x raised to 7 minus 2x raised to 5 plus 1. That is what we have. And at the bottom we have got x cube minus 3x square plus 2. So first time what we'll do is we will take up x raised to 7 and x raised to 5. We'll take 1. The other one we're going to write as this way. Let's see what we get out of this. And this over here, what we're going to do is we're going to write x cube minus x square and minus 2x square plus 2. Let's factorize them further. So x raised to 5 comes out common. Inside what we have is x square minus 1. Here we have minus 1, x raised to 5 minus 1. So this is what we have. Let's move one step ahead and now see what can we do regarding the denominator. So denominator, x square comes out, this will be x minus 1, and over here minus 2 comes out, this will be x square minus 1. So overall what I can do is divide everywhere by x minus 1, the numerator and denominator. So clearly if I apply the limit to all of them, that is here x tending to 1, here also I can apply limit x tending to 1, here also we can apply a limit x tending to 1, and finally we can apply it over here as well. So if I do that, then what we get is x raised to 5, this would be written as n a. So n is going to be 2 a n minus 1. This is going to be 5 a n minus 1, that is 4, divided by this is going to be x squared, and x minus 1, this is obviously gone. So this term would be cancelled out straight away. So that would be just 1. Last one we're going to write it as n a n minus 1. So ultimately now what we are getting is 2x raised to 5 minus 5 divided by x squared minus 4. So now if we put limit x tending to 1 over here in the remaining term, then what we get is 2 minus 5 by 1 minus 4. So this is going to be minus 3 by minus 3, which is 1. So that would be the answer to this question. That's what we get. So minus 3 by minus 3, which is coming out as 1. Let's take up another problem. Root over of 1 plus x minus 1 by x. That's what we have. Now we have to write this in a slightly different way. So we would be writing it as, we can first of all, you can clearly see that when we put x equals to 0, we get again that 0 by 0 form. So this we can write as 1 plus x minus 1. Not only that, here we can write 1 plus x minus 1, because this 1 and 1 would cancel and we will get this x back. So we can write this in this form. So further we can write it as, of course the limit is there, not to forget that, limit x tending to 0. This is going to be 1 by 1 plus x root over the whole square minus 1 square divided by root over of 1 plus x minus 1. Now further what we can do is limit x tending to 0 1 by this. So this is going to be NA, that is 2a n minus 1. That is, there is a slight change over here though. So we have to slightly shift this limit. So this time what we'll do is, we will take root over of 1 plus x. We will do this as 1 plus x. Let us take this as h. So as x tends to 0, h tends to 1. So there will be a slight change now. This will be written as limit h tending to 1. And 1 plus x is going to be written as root h, the whole square, minus 1 square, divided by root h minus 1. Now this works perfectly, because now we're going to write 1 by n, that is n a n minus 1. So answer is going to be half to this.